This is CBC Nova Scotia News.
Tonight, university sexual violence. She ended up on Zoom with the man accused of raping her and is now trying to ensure that doesn't happen to other students.
Community Land Trust. Black communities in Nova Scotia look to collective ownership to address housing costs.
And bird kill. Avian flu forces a big cull at a farm near Bridgewater.
Periods of rain rolling in tonight, becoming at times heavy for Thursday before mixing to freezing rain. Your full forecast is coming up.
Good evening. It's been about 6 months since a student-led campaign against sexual violence launched at Université St. Anne.
It's called SA Change Now, and it's a product of dozens of women sharing their experiences of sexual assault on campus, including one woman who says she ended up on Zoom with the man accused of raping her.
St. Anne is the most recent university in the region to face allegations of a rape culture. But as Selena Alders reports, campaign members say the school's administration is not taking the issue seriously.
Better lighting on campus, more support for survivors, and a sexual assaults complaints office. These are some of the demands of the campaign. It's led by a student who knows how difficult it can be to come forward. Her name is protected by a publication ban. She alleges she was raped on campus in 2021. She says the school's reporting and hearing process was almost as traumatizing as the assault.
I completely understood why victims and survivors sometimes choose not to report.
She was forced to recount the allegations in front of a panel of her peers. She also found herself face-to-face on a Zoom call with the male student accused of raping her.
I spiraled. I had a horrible panic attack afterwards, and it was just, I had to see him again and hear him and feel watched.
Her mental health began to deteriorate, and she was hospitalized for weeks after an attempt to end her life.
I was just falling apart. I mean, I didn't even want to be alive anymore, so it was pretty difficult to have to keep up with schoolwork.
Many universities in the region have had to take a closer look at how they handle cases of sexual violence. Similarly to St. Anne, a student-led campaign erupted at Mount Allison University in New Brunswick back in 2020. This prompted the school to task a group to find better ways to support survivors.
So based on the information gleaned from our external review and just sexual violence activism generally, you want something that's trauma informed. So for example, not making people tell their story again and again and again and reliving that trauma. So ideally they report it once and then the process can go from there.
Unlike most other universities in the region, St. Anne does not have an office dedicated to responding to sexual violence. This is something that the student campaign wants the school to consider. But instead, students and the professor involved with the campaign say their posters calling for change have been vandalized.
But I think it's unfortunately symbolic of this administration not only not taking the issue seriously, but in some cases attacking the campaign in really trivial, sort of juvenile delinquent ways.
St. Anne did not respond to multiple requests from CBC for an interview or an update on how the school handles sexual violence. In November, the university's director of communications provided an email statement that read, in part, the university's administration unreservedly condemns inappropriate conduct of any kind and encourages anyone who may have been a victim or witness of such acts to report them to the university department or to contact the police. LeBlanc also pointed to the university's sexual violence policy, which was revamped in late September. However, it's unclear as to which aspects of the policy have been updated.
As for the young woman, she's feeling discouraged.
The amount of neglect and how much they don't care about their students just makes it so easy for perpetrators to get away with anything that they want. Unless there's outside pressure, I'm not very optimistic about anything changing within the university because they don't care about their students. They've shown that for so long.
But her advocacy is not over. She pledges to stick with the campaign even after she graduates until she sees a day where students feel safe at St. Anne. Selena Alders, CBC News, Halifax.
As people all over Canada try to cope with the shortage of affordable housing, a concept that developed during the American Civil Rights Movement is resurfacing in some Black communities in Nova Scotia. It's called a community land trust. A few years ago, the concept was almost unknown in Atlantic Canada, but now at least 4 groups have begun to organize to meet the needs for housing. Shayna Luck has that story.
Curtis Wiley's pitching his community on a new idea, and the response was even more than he hoped.
So the room was set up almost like how they hold wedding receptions here.
They're debating a community land trust, where the land is held forever for the benefit of a group, and the group decides how to use it. They know they want to use land for affordable housing. Wiley believes if they don't do this, high housing prices will split the historic Black community of Upper Hammonds Plains apart.
I believe that our community would be gone, right? It would just be really fragmented.
A group in Truro is a bit further along. 6 plots of land in the historic Black neighborhood called the Marsh are also set to become a land trust. Lynn Jones bought them so developers wouldn't.
So that's not what I wanted. So the land trust was actually quite perfect.
And as Jones researched land trusts, she had a realization.
And I was so happy when I did find out, oh, this was started by Black people.
The community land trust concept developed during the American Civil Rights Movement, with the establishment of a 6,000-acre collective farm called New Communities, Inc. But it wasn't until 2015 the New Communities founders realized their model was being duplicated by others.
I was blown away. And that's when I learned that there were so many others in other cities using the model we created.
In Nova Scotia, 4 Black communities are now establishing fledgling land trusts, and all of them are very aware of the history.
And I was like, wow, this is such a missing narrative, especially in the Canadian landscape.
He's still spreading the story.
So it was profound for me. And then it set me on a course of always telling people this.
Looking for solutions in the past as the housing crunch affects his community's future. Shayna Luck, CBC News, Halifax.
The Bank of Canada is holding its trend-setting interest rate at 5%. It's the 5th time in a row the bank has held steady, saying it's still too soon to start lowering rates.
Domestically, inflation could prove more persistent than expected. We don't want to keep monetary policy this restrictive for longer than we have to, but nor do we want to jeopardize the progress we made in bringing inflation down.
Bank Governor Tiff Macklem says the higher rates need more time to be effective. He says even though inflation has been easing, underlying price pressures are still persistently high. Canada's inflation rate dropped to 2.9% in January, bringing it within the Bank of Canada's 1 to 3% target range. Economists are widely expecting the central bank to begin lowering its key interest rate around the middle of the year. Meanwhile, lobster prices at the wharf in southwestern Nova Scotia have hit $18 a pound. That's the highest price ever this early in the season. Low catches, low inventory, and high demand are believed to be behind the jump in lobster fishing areas from Halifax to Digby, the most lucrative commercial fishery in Canada. The catch is expected to increase in the next few weeks, which may drive the prices down again.
Halifax Regional Police is getting 22 new positions this year. Councillors approved the municipal force's $98 million budget earlier today. About $1.2 million includes a dozen new constables, an officer for the hate crime unit, and 4 community response officers. Most residents who spoke to council were against any increases. They cited research showing more police does not lead to less crime, and Halifax should move to civilian-led crisis response. Councillor Becky Kent, the chair of the Board of Police Commissioners, says millions of dollars is going to that work.
Change doesn't happen because we say we're not going to fund it. It's actually quite the opposite. And we have a public safety office that is working collaboratively with our RCMP and our HRP to change models. It takes time to create those kinds of collaborative approaches. And in the meantime, we continue to have to provide policing in HRM, a growing city.
The Halifax RCMP's budget of $38 million was also approved. But the Mounties' request for 6 new officers will be decided at the end of the month.
Jail guards staged a noisy protest at Province House today to drive home their message for more staff at Nova Scotia's largest jail. The guards say they don't have enough staff to provide proper security at the jail, which means inmates can be locked in their cells for up to 23 hours a day. The union representing the guards says that's an unsafe situation for both the guards and the inmates.
Critical issues is critically short-staffed. We had a case, a Supreme Court judge ruled in January, looked into a case. We had an inmate locked for 22 hours a day for 36 days in a row, and it's because of critical staffing shortages. And we need the Department of Justice, we need the minister to look at these serious issues and start to deal with them.
We currently have no vacancies. It's really a issue about ensuring that everybody shows up for the shifts that they're responsible to show up for. But even having said that, we're going to continue to recruit and train so that we have maybe even a few more than what we actually need.
Johns says the province recently hired 33 new guards and has another 45 going through training. He says the province has had an open recruitment policy for guards.
The Faculty Association of Mount St. Vincent University has ratified a deal ending its strike. No details were announced from the union, other than that 93% of members were in favor. The 160 faculty, librarians, and lab instructors walked off the job on February 12th. They say they were on strike in part to improve their wages and benefits and to bring them in line with other Atlantic universities. Classes will resume tomorrow.
And Ryan with us now for our first quick look at the weather forecast.
And you've got a lot to talk about, Ryan.
Yeah, it's going to be messy. That's the big theme for Thursday, and turning wet tonight, everybody getting into the rain. And then we're really going to turn messy from north to south as we move throughout the day tomorrow. The most significant freezing rain expected, Colchester, Cumberland area and across into northern Cape Breton. This is our greatest chance of prolonged freezing rain and icing, and that ice building up on surfaces. Rainfall warnings in effect for all areas, including Colchester, Cumberland, given that even here we're looking at 30 to 50 millimeters across northern areas. For south and western areas, 40 to 60, even pockets that could exceed that locally. But again, it is going to be the north that we're most concerned about with the ice. And then we are talking about the potential for some freezing rain, even down towards the Halifax area, especially for tomorrow night. And that could be enough to certainly cause some issues and put a slick coating on everything as we turn the page into early Friday. There's the storm itself, again, just working its way in. In terms of the timeline, quite mild through tonight, warm enough that this will come down as rain, perhaps some very patchy freezing rain over higher terrain overnight. But again, starting as rain tomorrow, note the yellows and oranges here. Periods of rain at times heavy. Hydroplaning, localized flooding, those are going to be concerns for Thursday for the commute to work and throughout the day tomorrow as these heavy periods of rain come in. The winds shift to northeast, that ushers in that cooler air, and note these temperatures ticking down. And yes, while it's going to be freezing at the surface, it will still be raining aloft. And so that rain falling into that freezing layer at the surface, that's why things coat up and get that glaze, that coating of ice. And that, again, really problematic across northern areas. When you couple that with the fact that the winds are going to be from the northeast gusting 50, 60, even 70 kilometers per hour Thursday evening into the overnight, the potential for power outages here is certainly going to be there, especially for north and eastern areas through the Thursday night time period. Note into Friday morning, still freezing rain, especially along the Atlantic coastline, so that'll be a concern for the Friday morning commute, and then this all finally departs as it tapers to flurries through Friday morning and into the early afternoon. Long trek before we get there. The good news is Saturday looks awesome, so we'll break that down with more on this as well with your 7-day coming up.
There is a bright side.
It'll be worth the wait, right?
Okay. Thanks so much, Ryan.
Thank you.
A farmer in Lower Branch, just outside Bridgewater, had to destroy hundreds of birds after avian flu was spotted on her farm. Avian flu poses no threat to humans, but is highly contagious among birds. It's transmitted most of the time by wild waterfowl. Preston Mulligan has more.
Montana Pinheiro raises a variety of animals on her farm here in Lower Branch. Some of these pigs will be harvested in the next few weeks, and she hopes to do the same with at least one of her cows. As for the poultry, the odd egg is all that remains since avian flu ripped through her farm last month.
One day I found 2 dead birds, and the next day I found 1, and the next day I found 16, and the next day I found 30, and the next day I found 50, and it just looked like they dropped dead.
Pinheiro had geese, chickens, ducks, and guinea fowl on the farm. When they started dying, she called the Canadian Food Inspection Agency. By the time they showed up, 140 birds, or 2/3 of the entire flock, were dead.
They scheduled a day to come back and then euthanize all my flocks, and I had to contain them. And unfortunately, there was a snowstorm that came in between, so it was kind of a long waiting period for me, which was really tough.
Neither Pinheiro or the CFIA can say for sure what brought the virus to her farm. She says it was most likely wild ducks attracted to her pond and whatever feed they could find. The CFIA says avian flu is everywhere.
The virus is in the wild bird population and waterfowl particularly. So I think you'd have to consider almost every duck or goose a potential carrier.
This is where my 3 geese slept.
Now the cleanup begins. The farm is under quarantine. She's forbidden from visiting the nearby feed co-op or even her local farmer's market. Everything on the farm has to be sanitized.
Anything that was in the barn, I have to wash and disinfect. So I have to wash it with soap and water and let it dry, and then I have to disinfect it. And all of that has to happen above a certain temperature or the disinfectant doesn't actually work.
As soon as the CFIA gives her the all clear, Pinheiro says she plans to rebuild her flocks. Preston Mulligan, CBC News, Lower Branch.
A recent survey of 40,000 property owners about the Coastal Protection Act received only 1,070 responses. But today at the legislature, Nova Scotia's Environment Minister says he knows what the 39,000 people who did not respond are thinking.
I interpret that vacuum, that gap, as leave us alone. This isn't something that we're interested in with respect to the Coastal Protection Act. I'm a firm believer there has to be coastal action. There has to be protection. So I think we've arrived at a balanced plan that respects the rights of property owners, that empowers property owners, and that will work with municipalities.
The act was passed with all-party support in 2019 and went through 2 rounds of public consultation before the most recent round in the fall. Last month, Holman announced his government would not proclaim the act. Instead, the government will leave it to the municipalities to determine any rules that should be in place for coastal development. The provincial government is expanding a financial incentive program that was set up to encourage more doctors to work in Nova Scotia. The incentives are now available in all areas of the province, including Halifax. Inside the Central Zone, family physicians and specialists who want to establish full-time practices can now get up to $75,000 in incentives over a 5-year period. The expansion is a reversal of a decision the Houston government made 2 years ago to remove the incentive from the Halifax area. Health Minister Michelle Thompson says the reinstatement is not an admission cutting, it was a mistake.
Oh, no. This is another evolution of how we become a magnet for healthcare workers. We know that prior to our incentive change, 60% of physicians who received the incentive were settling in Central Zone. And we don't want to pitch one part of the province against the other. We also had to look at making sure that our rural communities also had the opportunity to settle and welcome physicians.
Outside the Central Zone, doctors can get up to $125,000. To date, 68 physicians are under incentive agreements to work in Nova Scotia for the 5-year period.
The Black Men's Health Conference is back on again this weekend in Dartmouth. The aim is to get people talking about health social issues ranging from mental health to healthy relationships to racism. Russell Brooks, who will be speaking at the event, says part of the focus will be to get more young Black people feeling comfortable enough to speak about these issues in their lives.
They're reluctant to truly be honest and engage in a conversation because it's uncomfortable for them. So we need to find the ways that we can create that sense of comfort and a sense of safety so that they can have these conversations. So a lot of times, they'll try to laugh and, try to just disengage when we try to, invite them to have these conversations. So we need to figure out ways that we can make it more comfortable for them and then, normalize it so that it's happening consistently.
I'll talk to Russell Brooks about the conference and the message he wants to share with other Black men. That's our Newsmaker interview just after 6:30.
A Halifax Regional Police officer has been recognized for his quick action when a woman became unresponsive after choking at a Dartmouth restaurant.
Councillor Tony Mancini applauded the heroism of Sergeant Phil Power at a budget meeting earlier today.
I would like to acknowledge somebody that's in the gallery today. I wonder if Sergeant Phil Power could just get off his phone for a second and just wave to everybody so everybody knows Sergeant Power. Last night, Sergeant Power, by the way, is a District 6 resident. Don't hold that against him, but last night he was at the Micmac Tavern, and he was having a meeting actually with an HRM staff member, and one of the people came up to him knowing he was a police officer and said, "There's a lady that's choking. Can you assist?" So he went to that lady, and when he got there, she was non-responsive. In fact, Phil describes that she was blue. So he started to administer CPR. He administered CPR for 7 minutes. He brought her back. So, ladies and gentlemen, I just want to acknowledge the efforts of Sergeant Phil Power. Phil, thanks very much, buddy. I want to go and shake your hand. That's all.
And that's a recognition well deserved.
Scary situation.
For sure. First quick break on the way. Stay with us.
There's a lot more to come on CBC Nova Scotia News. Nikki Haley has ended her bid for the White House after a disappointing Super Tuesday result.
The Canadian government is set to restore funding to UNRWA, the United Nations Relief Agency for Palestinians. It was paused in January after Israel alleged 12 UNRWA employees were involved in the October 7th attack.
And kind of a misty day in Ketch Harbor. Ryan is back with the full weather forecast. We'll see you after this short break.
All right, there's lots to talk about in weather tonight.
Yeah, we were talking earlier this week about spring has sprung. And
Yes.
what happened?
Well, listen, spring is it's a shoulder season, transition season. Right. You know, we can see a whole, basically the full meal deal all in one day. And this one, we won't be really seeing as much snow. But if you are traveling, be mindful that New Brunswick is going to see more snow, and also PEI as well, going to see some significant snow from this one. For us, it's kind of the ice and the rain, but the ice is what we want to focus on first. And before we get to the forecast, we're going to talk donuts. Yes,
awesome.
Delicious donuts.
Oh, wow.
So
I don't know which one I like more. They both look really good.
They're both very delicious, for sure. Freezing rain and ice pellets. We're going to be talking a lot about that over the next 24 to 36 hours. The difference between freezing rain and ice pellets, again, that freezing rain falling and putting a glaze or a coating on everything, including cars, roads, and yes, power lines. And once those power lines get rocking with the winds, that's why we have issues with power outages, and likely we'll see some outages tomorrow. And now ice pellets, again, falling as just that, a delicious sprinkle from the sky.
So we prefer those, right?
They're less problematic for sure, unless they're pelting you in the face.
Right. It's not raining donuts, though, just to be clear.
Just to be clear.
Okay.
That would be great, actually.
That would be great. Freezing rain warning for, yes, the glaze coming from the glazed donuts there. You can see Colchester, Cumberland, and also for northern Cape Breton. Rainfall warnings in effect for the rest of the mainland and also for Cape Breton, basically everybody under the rainfall warning. And you can see mostly rain there, 40 to 60 plus. We could see some pockets exceeding that. 30 to 50 millimeters for northern areas. So still a significant shot of rain for all of us here. And then that ice, certainly problematic there across northern areas with a prolonged extended period of freezing rain beginning tomorrow afternoon, continuing into the evening. Note then temperatures, which are, quite mild. You can see 10 degrees right now in Halifax, 9 degrees at Western Head and Lunenburg, and temperatures back to 3 degrees right now in Yarmouth, rather. So there's the system. And again, this thing is chugging up the coast with some very heavy rain set for New England, and yes, for us as well. Cold air wrapping in on the back side of this system with those temperatures dropping, and that is indeed where we're seeing this system that's going to get really brewing here over the next 12 hours as it strengthens. Note the snow, as we said, tracking into New Brunswick from this one, and we are looking at those steadier periods of rain moving in across Nova Scotia overnight into tomorrow morning, and hydroplaning and pooling water on the roads, and indeed the potential for some localized flooding here. Still a lot of frost in the ground in many places, and so this water is going to have issues getting away. It's not going to just absorb into the ground like it normally does, and so a lot of standing water, possibility of localized flooding throughout the day tomorrow. Note Amherst dropping to the freezing mark by 4 or 5 o'clock. The valley may already be there by 5 o'clock. Somewhere between the 4 and 6 to 7, maybe 8 p.m. time frame is when I think the valley and the Northumberland shore and into northern Cape Breton are going to drop below the freezing mark. But again, raining into that freezing layer, and that's why we're looking at that possibility, good possibility of freezing rain. So temperatures really variable tomorrow. Those northeast winds are going to come in, drop those temperatures. We're going to be seeing gusts to 50 kilometers per hour tomorrow afternoon. Stronger northeast winds to north winds Thursday night, and those winds will gust 60 to 70 kilometers per hour, and that's why the power outage risk will increase after dark tomorrow with the winds kicking up. We're going to be seeing the freezing rain mix over to ice pellets and then snow again as the colder air starts to move in, and we'll see that all taper off to flurries through Friday morning, lingering flurries, especially in those onshore winds, but overall Friday is going to be a quieter day. Sheet Harbor, that's obviously a typo on my part there. The temperature will not be 20 degrees in Sheet Harbor on Friday. Sorry to disappoint you there. 2 degrees in Sheet Harbor on Friday. 4 though in the southwest, and Saturday's looking great. Not 20 degrees either on Saturday, but we will see this area of high pressure settling in, and that will make for a very nice day on Saturday with temperatures up into the 5-6 degree range. So a nice Saturday. Next system comes in on Sunday. Showers moving in, likely some flurries mixing with that Sunday night, and even into early Monday. and then more flurries mixing in as that system departs on Tuesday. But temperatures, again, staying on the plus side for the most part into next week. So Saturday's kind of the bright spot. At least it's landing on the weekend. Again, not 20 degrees, but...
yeah, not 20 degrees, and not 40 degrees in Bridgewater either, which is good to know.
Yeah,
so.
that's true.
That'd be too hot.
Yeah, for sure.
Thanks so much, Ryan.
Thank you.
Thanks, Ryan.
Up next, I'll talk with one of the speakers at this weekend's Dartmouth Conference on Black Men's Health. That is our Newsmaker interview.
Please stay with us. You're watching CBC Nova Scotia News.
The Black Men's Health Conference is back on again this weekend in Dartmouth. The aim is to get people talking about health social issues ranging from mental health to healthy relationships to racism. Russell Brooks is community activist and advocate for social justice around mental health and wellness in the Black community. Welcome to our studio.
Thank you for having me.
Tell me about what your message will be at this conference.
So there's a few key messages that I'm hoping to share at this event. So one is really just to kind of share some of my own personal journey. I think it's important to try to connect with the audience in as many ways as I can. And I think just, being vulnerable around these types of things is a way to kind of make that connection, which I think is important in terms of trying to help people get the courage to kind of explore their own journey and pursue their own journey. So a part of my message will be sharing, some of my own journey and kind of what's helped me along the way. I think it's truly important to help everyone who's attending the event understand, the urgency around, well-being and mental health for Black men, for Black communities, for the Black families. I think it's so critical for us to really prioritize that. So that will be a piece of my message as well. And then the other piece that I think is super important is just the need to engage young people around these issues as early as we can. We want to try to leave the younger generation in a better place than we all are. So to be able to kind of expose them to some of this stuff at an earlier age so that they can easier navigate, some of these societal issues, I think is so important.
Can you sum up what the lesson is you learned from your own personal journey?
That's a loaded question to try to sum up, but one thing that I will say is that you can find inspiration in places that you might not see right in front of your face. So for me, I had a relationship with a mentor, and I didn't know the significance of that relationship until recently. So those types of things are so crucial in terms of kind of navigating societal issues and mental health and well-being being at the forefront of those.
You talked about getting people, young people in particular, to ask or to access services. When they ask, what is the reaction? What's the reality that they face?
I mean, a lot of times when you try to engage young people in these, around these issues, they're reluctant to truly be honest and engage in a conversation because it's uncomfortable for them. So we need to find the ways that we can create that sense of comfort and a sense of safety so that they can have these conversations. So a lot of times, they'll try to laugh and, try to just disengage when we try to, invite them to have these conversations. So we need to figure out ways that we can make it more comfortable for them and then, normalize it so that it's happening consistently.
What's missing, do you think?
For young people or just in general?
What would make it better? Well, generally, for Black men, mental health in particular.
That's a loaded question. I could go so many ways with that. I think one of the big things is representation. For Black men to be able to go to a healthcare professional and see someone that looks like them, see someone who understands, their lived experience and lived reality, I think is something that a lot of people don't truly understand when you're navigating, these types of problems or these types of issues and you're seeking support. To be able to see somebody that truly can see and hear you, it goes a long way, and it creates that sense of safety and security, and it's more inviting. So I think that that's a big thing that we need to try to address, and just increasing, the supports that are available. There is, gaps, there's barriers around a lot of these supports and services. So I think trying to find ways to make sure that we're providing, the supports and services that are truly needed, and that the cultural competency is being, included in those as well.
Just before we go, I know this conference has been around for a few years, but what kind of sessions will you be having?
There's a variety of sessions. So there's sessions around, spirituality. There's sessions around wellness and mental health. There's sessions around sexual health. There's sessions around masculinity. There's sessions around, the importance or the connection between, being mentally well and how that impacts, things like finances. There's sessions around, entrepreneurial, opportunities. There's just a range of things. We've taken feedback from, people who have attended in the past, and we've tried to make sure that we're listening to what they're looking for, and we're filling in those gaps.
I know you're expecting hundreds to attend. I hope it goes well. Thank you.
I thank you as well.
Coming up, a Saskatchewan family marked Leap Day ×4. Mom and Dad welcome quadruplets on February 29th.
Nikki Haley has dropped out of the Republican race for the White House. The former South Carolina governor and UN ambassador was Donald Trump's last remaining major challenger for the GOP nomination.
Her decision comes after a round of major losses on Super Tuesday. Katie Simpson has the latest from Washington.
Nikki Haley used her exit speech to take one last shot at Donald Trump. As she admitted defeat, she chose not to endorse him as the Republican presidential nominee.
It is now up to Donald Trump to earn the votes of those in our party and beyond it who did not support him. And I hope he does that.
With Haley's departure, it's now inevitable. There will be a rematch between Trump and President Joe Biden.
November 5th, it's right around the corner. November 5th is going to go down as the single most important day in the history of our country.
Because Trump is such a polarizing figure, it's unclear how many of Haley's supporters will join his movement for the general election.
It hurts my soul to say that I will vote for Joe Biden over Donald Trump.
Democrats are hoping to exploit that lack of Republican unity.
So if you agreed with Nikki Haley when she stood up to Trump for things like election denialism or the chaos and division that he represents, there is in fact going to be a home for them in Joe Biden's campaign.
With 8 long months of campaigning to go, there is a sense of frustration among some voters.
I don't think anybody really wants to see this type of a rematch kind of scenario playing out. I think people were exhausted the last time.
It's going to be ugly. It's going to be embarrassing for our country.
Democrats also have a unity problem. Young voters, progressives, and some voters from diverse communities are angry with Biden's handling of the war in the Middle East. It will be near impossible for Biden to win re-election if those voters don't show up at the polls. Katie Simpson, CBC News, Washington.
CBC News has learned the federal government is going to restore funding to the UN agency that provides aid to Palestinians living in Gaza. Several countries suspended funding to UNRWA following allegations some of its staff took part in the October 7th Hamas raid on Israel. International Development Minister Ahmed Hussein, who was in the region last month, was scheduled to make the announcement today. That has been put on hold and no new date has been provided. A senior government source tells CBC's Canada's scheduled $25 million payment to UNRWA will be made in April, and the minister will be making a new funding announcement.
There are reports that the U.S. and British airstrikes have targeted an airport in Yemen. This happened after officials from both countries reported that a Houthi missile attack on a commercial ship killed 2 sailors. They were on board a Barbados-flagged vessel in the Red Sea. They're the first fatalities reported since the Iran-backed rebel group began attacking ships in the region. Rebecca Collard has the latest.
Yemen's Houthi rebels have taken responsibility for this attack on the True Confidence. They say they fired several missiles at the vessel after it did not respond to their calls over the radio. That lit the vessel on fire. Now, British and American officials have confirmed that at least 2 sailors were killed in that attack. It is not clear at the moment what the fate was for the other 20 or so crew members and security staff that were on the vessel, but we do understand that the vessel has been completely abandoned and is adrift. Now, Yemen's Houthi rebels have been carrying out attacks like this really since mid-November. They've carried out dozens of attacks against ships that they claim are either connected to Israel or its main backer, the U.S. They say they're doing it in solidarity with the Palestinians. Now, very often the shipping companies that own these vessels deny those connections. But despite the fact that they have carried out so many attacks, this is the first time that we've had reports of casualties, either deaths or severe injuries because of these attacks. Now, Yemen's Houthi rebels are allied with Iran. They do receive training and support from Tehran, but they are not a very well-armed militia. Yet they have found this leverage point over the international community by disrupting shipping in the Red Sea. And because of that, the U.S. and the U.K. have been carrying out this bombing campaign against Houthi rebels for more than a month now in Yemen, trying to degrade their capability, trying to stop them from carrying out attacks like that. But it's very clear by this attack against the True Confidence and also the attacks that we've seen over the last few days that they have not so far been successful in degrading the Houthis' capability. communities. Now, a spokesperson for the Houthis said that they will continue these attacks as long as what he called the aggression and siege of Palestinians in Gaza continues. So we are very likely to see more attacks like this either in the coming days or the coming weeks. Rebecca Collard for CBC News, Berlin.
We are learning new details about the moments leading up to a deadly plane crash in Tennessee that killed 5 Canadians Monday night. Officials say all people on board the single-engine plane have died. 3 children, the pilot, and a second adult. The plane took off from Milton, Ontario, near Toronto, and made several stops in the U.S. It was headed to Nashville, but overshot the runway. The plane then hit the ground, narrowly missing a busy highway and several buildings. The names of the deceased have not been released.
There's growing concern among homeowners in some high-risk flood zones. A major lender in Quebec says it will no longer provide new mortgages for people who live in those areas. It says the risk is just too great because of the impacts of climate change. And as Alison Northcott reports, there are worries more financial institutions could follow suit.
It started with the street right next to us. And
Tanya Carroll will never forget the 2017 flood.
We were woken up in the middle of the night by the firefighters, and we were rushed out.
Carroll lives in what's known as a 20-year floodplain, which means there's a 5% risk of flooding any given year. That's now considered too risky for Desjardins, a major financial institution based in Quebec. It will no longer offer new mortgages for properties on 20-year floodplains across the province. Residents like Carroll worry what the change will mean for the value of their homes.
If I do decide in the future to sell my house, what's going to be the chances that I'll be able to get what it's worth at that time? Will it be worth? Is that going to then, downgrade the cost of, the selling price?
Desjardins said in a statement, the impacts of climate change, including water damage, are growing in importance and causing substantial damage. The company points out less than 5% of its mortgaged properties are in high-risk flood zones, but says homes in these areas are generally uninsurable, and it needs to account for the risks.
People might not be able to pay their mortgages if a major flood event occurs.
Several insurance companies have made similar moves, with more than 1 million Canadian homes deemed uninsurable for flood risk. If mortgage providers are next and others follow Desjardins' lead, there could be a huge impact, says this expert.
So you're going to have eroding and cascading effects throughout the residential housing market within given regions across Canada in these high-risk areas.
In the Montreal borough of Pierrefonds-Roxborough alone, the mayor says there are thousands of households in flood zones.
Will the other banking institutions follow suit? Which creates a major issue, because if you don't have cash at that point to buy a home, folks that have these homes will be stuck with them. The property value goes down.
Experts say it's another reminder that Canada needs to do more to adapt to avoid risks caused by climate change. Alison Northcott, CBC News, Montreal.
A couple in northern Saskatchewan marked the leap year in spectacular fashion. They welcomed 4 new babies into their family on February 29th. The quadruplets will join 5 older siblings. Their father is happy, but needless to say, overwhelmed. He shared his thoughts with the CBC.
Once in a lifetime thing, you know what I mean? Like trying to visit one kid, but then you got to jump to another one, and you're not like, you know what I mean? Just trying to put your attention equally amongst the 4.
You had quadruplets on leap year.
Oh, it's crazy. I can't even express how crazy it feels to have like that many kids. I already have a couple as it is, and then for them to be, you know what I mean, 4 more. Altogether this year, these are 9. She has 2 prior, I have 2 prior, and then we have a son together, and then these 4. So.
Was Savannah here in Saskatoon, or?
Yeah, she was here. She has to stay close to the hospital because there's obviously quadruplets, right? So she had to stay close to the hospital. And she called me, I need you home right now. And I started freaking out, didn't know what to do. So
I know they were a bit premature.
Yeah, this was the 29th. I drove 9.5 hours from work. Made it here. There's a snowstorm.
And you made it on time?
No, unfortunately I missed it.
How are the kids?
They're good. They're hooked up to breathing tubes still, but everything is going good. One had to get a blood transfusion because their wasn't doing too good, I guess, or whatever. And then 2 of them had jaundice, but then, yeah, they're doing good.
Can you tell me their names?
Yeah, sure. Baby A is Aaliyah. Baby B is Beautiful. baby C is Cecilia, and baby D is Dominic. They're all Marastes.
Wow. And how's Savannah doing?
She's doing really well. She's up and walking around and high spirits. So, we'll be staying in the hospital. They'll be here till May or something like that. So we'll be around for a while. You won't be able to do it by yourself, so I'll have to help 100%.
Canada's main stock index posted modest gains today. Here's a look at the markets as we head to break.
For news you can trust, we have the latest on what's happening in your community and a weather forecast you can rely on no matter where you are in Atlantic Canada. I'm Amy Smith.
And I'm Ryan Snoddon.
Join us for Atlantic Tonight.
Right after the National.
Back to wrap things up, and I hope people didn't put their ice scrapers too far away.
No, I'm still thinking about those donuts that your display of
tasty, didn't they?
What ice pellets versus
ice
freezing
pellets
rain.
versus freezing rain. And in case you missed it, again, ice pellets are more like the sprinkled donuts coming down in that delicious pellet. whereas the freezing rain is like that glaze, a coating or an ice glaze on the donut, which won't be nice for tomorrow, obviously, as it does freeze up and cause some issues. First and foremost, we have to make sure we give credit where credit's due. So tonight's viewer picture is last night's viewer picture from Brule Point. It's worth a second look anyway, but it's definitely worth giving a shout out to Christina McCarran for sharing these back-to-back beautiful pictures. Thank you, Christina. There's one day and it's all gone the next. Now, I will be interested. This is actually a nice tie-in with the winds coming back from the northeast along the Northumberland shore.
What's going to happen?
Will it fill back in? And possibility, because the ice is, of course, still out there. So in the strait, you can see it is going to be a mess in Brule Point and along that Northumberland shore tonight. And as we move our way through tomorrow night in particular is when things are going to get really icy across the north. We will see some freezing rain in the south as well, but it is, for the most part, a rainfall concern in the shorter term here with those periods of rain at times heavy. Note the mild start tomorrow. Temperatures will be on the plus side. That rain will really start to come down at times heavy. Looks like definitely rubber boots for the kids tomorrow, and the rain jackets, the whole 9 yards with that. And you can see that heavy rain kind of migrating west to east across the province throughout the day, and then that colder air sinking in as we shift to northerly winds. Now, tomorrow evening is going to be our greatest risk for seeing that ice building up. And then into the overnight, those northern areas will mix to some ice pellets and snow. Southern areas, including Halifax, will likely see some freezing rain lingering even into the early morning hours of Friday before it all kind of moves out. It's really going to be a mess. And the good news is that Saturday is looking lovely. How often do we see a 7-day board like this and Saturday is actually Monday, right?
Yeah, right.
So that's good. We'll be able to enjoy some sunshine. Sunday's not going to be a washout by any stretch. Those showers, should have mentioned in the 7-day, are coming in throughout the afternoon. So we'll get Sunday morning out of it as well. And then keeping an eye on that system late Sunday into Monday.
All right. Appreciate that, Ryan. Thank you. Well, finally tonight, a rock classic has hit a modern milestone. That's Black Sabbath, of course, and today their fans are certainly satisfied. Their heavy metal classic Paranoid has just entered an elite club, Spotify's Billions Club, to be exact.
Yes, that means the song has now been streamed 1 billion times on the streaming service. Only 581 other songs have accomplished that feat since Spotify launched.
Paranoid was released back in 1970. The band says it was written in 5 minutes as an afterthought, just so they could put out the album.
Wow, there's...
Rock on. That's it for us tonight. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you next time.
Good night.